Hi, friends. This is the second time doing a live chat, and I actually scheduled it ahead of time, but I don't know if it notifies people that I'm going to do a live chat. I've never participated in one as a viewer. I've only watched them later. So I don't know if it lets anybody know I'm doing it, and I don't know what time or day would be best for people. So I thought I would just go ahead and do as if I was going to do a regular Parasite update video, and then if people join in or not, then ask questions and I can answer those. But I did have a few things that I wanted to update and share with you that I've been trying this last couple weeks. Well, yeah, about a week and a half. So as you know, I've got kind of yellow eyes. This one's always been worse. It always looks darker in the pictures than this one. So I thought, as a nurse, what do you do to get toxins out of people? And I've tried oil swishing and everything, but I think it's a fatty liver and a damaged liver that's causing it. So you give them charcoal. So I do have charcoal pills, and you can buy them at any pharmacy. You can buy charcoal pills. Sometimes you can get them online, but sometimes they're over the counter. Sometimes they're not at pharmacies. But you can purchase those, and I usually just take those when I'm traveling, going a foreign place where there could be problems, because you can take it and it can help with diarrhea and traveling and that kind of thing. So that's the only way I've ever taken it, is the pill form. And we took it when we went to Peru, and everybody got sick at some point while we were there. So that's the way that I've normally done it, is in the pills. It's usually in a capsule form. Sometimes they're little hard pills, but for the most part, they're in capsules, and you take them, and it will help with anything foreign in your stomach that's causing problems and help with the diarrhea. But in nursing, medical, if somebody overdoses on something accidentally or takes an overdose, they give them large amounts of charcoal. It's kind of a liquid format, and it helps take the toxins out of your system pretty quickly. So I got some of the liquid charcoal, and this is pretty, it settles, the charcoal particles settle on the bottom, and then they put it in some kind of a liquid, and it tastes a little sweet. So I've been doing that for about a week, I guess. I stopped for the last couple of days because I wanted to show you what it looked like. And when you take it, your teeth and your mouth, they're all black, and your tongue's black for a while. And even when you chew the harder tablets that you can buy, sometimes you can only get them in the tablet form, but I like the ones in the capsule form, because in it, your teeth and your tongue and everything don't get black. So I was taking this, and you can tell me whether you think my eyes are less yellow or not. They're still pretty bad. I mean, you can see that it's pretty yellow there compared to the other corner. So that hasn't, I do feel like it's helped me get rid of some toxins out of my system, but it's not necessarily helping the liver thing. I was also wanting to see if it would affect the parasites, and so I did do that. Just let me ball. Would you have any knowledge as to whether uncontrollable bowels is a side effect of starvation? I think when people are when their body is in a starvation mode, they do sometimes lose function of their control of those kind of things. So it could be, but it can also be trauma to the body. So like when people are in trauma, like traumatic events, like a car accident or something like that, they can actually have that as a problem. But there's lots of reasons that you could have that situation. Parasites is one of them. And so it could be parasites. You're welcome. So I'm just going to go back. I was talking about charcoal. So I was hoping that maybe the liquid charcoal would help the parasites. So I've never taken it in that form before, so I just wanted to see if it would work. So I took probably about 3 tablespoons a night. And typically when somebody overdoses, you give them the whole amount to get what's in their system immediately out. Now, if you're taking charcoal, any kind of charcoal, you don't want to take it within an hour or two of any vitamins or anything medication. So like if you're on some medications for your heart or high blood pressure or something like that, you don't want to take charcoal during the time or at the time around when you've taken your medication. You want to take it several hours after, or you can take it several hours before, but you don't want to take it around the time because it will absorb the medication that you've just taken. So don't take it charcoal if you are on any kind of medication anywhere near the medication. So I'm not on any medication. So I went ahead and I just took it at night because the liquid does make your teeth and tongue black. So I put that on there and took it. And like I said, it almost felt to me that the parasites were a little bit more active than normal. And maybe they just didn't like I don't think it killed them. I didn't feel die off. I didn't have a headache. I didn't get that die off feeling that you get when you're killing off parasites. But I did feel like they were more active. Maybe they just didn't like being with the charcoal. It wasn't killing them off. They just were annoyed by it. So they kind of burrowed. So that wasn't great. And it could have been that I was just taking it at night as well. And so, so I do feel like it helped me get rid of toxins. So if you're feeling toxic, I would suggest you check out my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com, and look on the left and do oil swishing. Oil swishing gets toxins out of your system very quickly. But I just wanted to see if this would help the liver because it actually goes through the liver, whereas oil swishing just gets it out of the system through under your tongue. So I did try that. I'm going to go ahead and finish this and continue taking some pills just to try and help my system because it's so toxic. So there was that. So there's a couple things that I in the process of ordering that I wanted to try that somebody wrote me about, and I did a bunch of research. You can see I printed it out. I don't like trying things without doing some research because my body is already so toxic. So when somebody suggests something, I write it down. I've got a continual list. I just check something off once I've tried it and go down, and then I research things and find out about things, and then I try those. So I appreciate people making suggestions. That they do help, and but also it takes me time to do it because I don't want to take more than one thing at a time. I've shared this before because then I won't know which one's working and which one's not working. So I've also been trying some other things. So I'll get back to this in a minute. So I've been trying some other things to help me have a little bit more energy. I have very limited diet what I can eat because of the leaky gut, because of the parasites. So I don't do any gluten. I haven't done gluten in years. And so by not doing any gluten, that excludes a lot of grains. And even when I eat non-gluten products, some of them I still react with. And so I'm not sure what grain in there I'm reacting with when I'm doing the gluten-free, but certain gluten-free products I can eat fine, and other ones I can't. It's just weird. I don't know exactly what's in them that I haven't been able to pinpoint which ones I'm okay with and which ones I'm not okay with. So so I just stayed away from all grains, mostly just rice. I would just eat rice, and I still do, and I was going to share about that in a minute. But I started eating, I read an article and watched a video about a woman whose husband had Alzheimer's, and she would feed him oatmeal and put in a little bit of coconut oil with it. And he was starting to reverse his Alzheimer's, and she found that there was certain ketones that she needed in the coconut oil, whatever, with that to have his body react that way. So I thought, well, I'm going to try doing some gluten-free oatmeal and then doing not coconut oil because my fatty liver, I don't do coconut oil very well, but pumpkin seed oil, because pumpkin seed is a natural anti-parasitic anyway. So I found this at Walmart, and it was on clearance, pumpkin seed oil, and I might have shared about this before. I was just taking it by itself, but I don't do really well with oils because I don't have a gallbladder. And with just the parasites in general, my health is just so bad, I don't do very many fatty, oily things. So this is about 2/3 still, because I take a very small amount. So what I've been doing, and I have to, the reason I'm sharing this is because I've been feeling better. So I'm sharing with you what I've been doing recently. So I've got several different types of gluten-free oatmeal or oatmeal mixes. And these are just from Walmart. And, so I was taking that, and I was mixing in some homemade yogurt. And I've talked about this before. I know the inventor. It's a sleeve that you put over a gallon of milk or a half gallon of milk, and you pour in probiotics, and then it makes its own homemade yogurt. So I've made that, and to get natural flora back in my system. And then I pour a little bit of that yogurt in with the oatmeal. And then I put a dash of the pumpkin seed oil. And then I cut up a banana. So I think the combination of the 3 or 4 things, so it's got a grain, it's got an oil, it's got a fruit with potassium, and then the dairy probiotic. And that mix, I've tried a few other things, and they didn't go as well. Like I tried the oatmeal grain mix, and I just didn't feel very good. So I think there's something in those grain mixes that I just can't do. Even though it was a gluten-free mix, I just can't do them. So I started doing just the plain oatmeal, gluten-free oatmeal. And that always a banana. I think it's the potassium in there, and the calcium in the yogurt, and the oils. Oils help you assimilate vitamins. And I was adding, so those are the things I'm taking currently. And I just mix them in, make it in the morning, and that's what I eat for breakfast. And it sticks pretty good in the gut, and so I don't feel hungry for most of the day, and I don't have the highs and lows I do if I just have a fruit in the morning. It seems a bit more balanced. And I was adding in isogenic shakes, and I started getting a yeast mouth, like rash in my mouth and on my lips and my tongue. And I was like, why am I getting yeast infections? Because I'm really sensitive to that. And I've been really good at keeping myself not having those. And so all of a sudden I was having yeast infections, and I was like, I hardly eat anything. Like my meals are the exact same every day, and I don't change a lot because I want to make sure what I'm taking is, I'm not reacting to it. So I went ahead and I was adding a little bit more of this because it's got vitamins in it, and you know, the ingredients list is forever long. I was like, oh, this is good for me, right? So I'm mixing that in with the yogurt and the oatmeal, and I started to get this yeast infection in my mouth. And I was so sad because it's got yeast in it. Sorry, there's selenium yeast. And when I take my vitamins, when I get my vitamins, I always have to make sure they're yeast free. Ever since I had the hepatitis shots from nursing, I've always had a problem with yeast infections. I'm very sensitive. If I take anything or eat anything that's yeasty, pills that are based on the selenium yeast, I always end up with a yeast infection. And so I hardly eat anything. Literally, I eat that in the morning, and then I eat the same meal as an evening, afternoon, and then that's it. Those are the 2 things I eat, and then pineapple. And so I was like, what is causing it? So I was really sad because I was trying to get some more nutrients in for one of my meals. So I won't be doing that anymore. I know it's a great product and a lot of people like it, but I wish they did it without the yeast in it. So sadly, I won't be using those anymore. But so there's that. But what I have been taking is because I've been having a hard time when I take individual, like if I take potassium, then it draws out the calcium and magnesium. And if I take magnesium, I lack in something else. It's such a fine art to get the right amount of potassium, calcium, magnesium. So what I've been doing is I've been taking gluten-free Centrum Silver for over 50. And I've been taking this. The bottle I have is almost gone. And so I just got some new. So it seems to be working okay. I hate pills. And so I always crush them. And I've shared that with you before, that I just crush them in a baggie or a coffee grinder. And then I just drink the vitamin so that my body can assimilate it better. So I was hoping that isogenic shakes would just be an easy way for me to just grab and go, but it's not working out. So I'm sticking with the Centrum 50 plus. It's worked for me. So just a really good multivitamin really helps. But I also am still taking amino acids when I eat, and I'm not taking the Lugol's iodine every day because this does have some in it. So I take it when I'm feeling like I need it. So every couple of days I'll take a drop, but I do have a higher concentration. And so I just take a drop. And then if you do take the Lugol's, make sure you're taking magnesium and NAC. And I did buy just a plain calcium, magnesium, potassium supplement that I do take. If I'm taking the iodine, I crush that with the multivitamin and I take that as well. So those are pretty much the supplements I take every day, except this one I've shared with you before. I absolutely love this product. I do take this pretty much every day, and that's the only reason I have any energy to get anything done. It's a really good product, and it's on one of my other videos, but it's called Spinal Touch Formula, and the number is 801-906-0287. And they have a lot of products, and I've tried several of them, and I like them, but this one is the one I can't do without. I just need that natural iron, and it's a cheaper way than any other way I found. Other than I still take a little bit of, when I'm feeling down a little bit too, I'll take a little bit of blackstrap molasses. But for the most part, those are what I take every day. And then if I'm getting sick, I'll do vitamin C. But I have been also, and I think I mentioned this in the last video that I did, have been making the lemon ginger blast and drinking a cup of that in the morning and a cup of that at night before I go to bed. But I stopped taking that at night because I was taking the charcoal. So I need to get back with that. Once I finish the charcoal, I'm going to go back to taking the lemon ginger blast at morning and at night. So, okay. Now on things that, I'm trying something new. I just got this last week. It's my maitake, I think is how it said, mushroom drops. And it's supposed to help your immune system. So I'm going to try that. I've been also trying the CBD oil again. I talked about one that I tried that was a whole flower or whatever, and I don't know what was in it, but it was more like they said, I thought it had alcohol in it. They told me it didn't have alcohol in it, but there was some way they extract it that I can't do. It's like Bach flower remedies, and that CBD, I get like my tongue swells up. I don't know how they extract it or what it is. This one's called the Healing Herb CBD Oil Spray, but I haven't noticed anything exciting. I've taken it several times and I keep trying it, hoping that maybe I'll have a different result, but I'm not feeling like anything either way, great or not. I also do add liquid minerals to anything I drink. Even when I'm doing Coke water mix or just Coke, I just add minerals no matter what, just liquid minerals, just Coke, so I can assimilate it. And that really does help my fingernails. They used to be really, really bumpy and rigid, and you can see that it still has ridges down the middle a little bit, but for the most part, they're pretty smooth. And my hands, and I've been pruning trees all week. I've got battle scars all over me from the trees. Look at all those, but they're really looking pretty. I should show you some pictures of the, oh, no, I can't. My phone's not with me. It's charging. I was talking to my grandkids a minute ago. So there's that. Okay. Things I do want to try. Somebody mentioned the artemisinin. Well, it's actually wormwood, and I have tried a lot of products with wormwood in them, but I haven't really tried just those. And so I was researching the Artemisia which has the wormwood, which is the wormwood. But I did research. A couple people said they had tried these for parasites that they had, and it didn't work, just plain. But when I was researching it, talked about taking it with coenzyme Q10 and taking it with C, and taking it not around times when you're taking other oil-soluble vitamins and some other things. So I had it in my cart and I didn't order it. I can't remember why. Something happened. I didn't order it. So that's on my next thing I want to try is that. So, and to take it with, and I hadn't heard of this either, Chistosan is also recommended. So I think it has iodine in it because it says if you're allergic to shellfish, don't take it. So I'm thinking that there's some kind of, but it's supposed to help with Lyme disease and other parasite conditions. So I have not heard of that. So I'm going to try that, the Chistosan with the Artemisia, and with these other things they suggest. And it's quite a bit of information. So I printed it out because it was a lot of information. I was like, oh, I can't take notes on all of those things I have to take. So this is more like it sounds almost like it's its own formula, so that you have to just stick with this different formula because you have to take it different times and you have to take different things with it. So I'm looking into that. Somebody else also suggested methylene blue, but I haven't been able to find that like at health food stores and stuff. So I think I'm gonna have to try and find that online, but I'm a little nervous about getting the wrong one. So I'm gonna try the, first I'm gonna try the Artemisia, and then with the Chistosan, and then I wanna try the methylene blue, and then the DMSO. I don't know why I bought it, and I just am terrified to take it. I don't know why I'm having this hard time. I've researched it a little bit, but it just kind of makes me a little nervous, and I'm not quite sure why I'm having a hesitation on that. So I'm going to try these other ones first, and then I'll get back to that. And then the last one somebody suggested was neem oil. Now, I have used neem oil. I researched it when I was doing emergency preparedness classes. I taught those. And so I have had it and used it for years as a natural antibiotic with oregano oil and grapefruit seed extract. So when somebody's really sick, I will give them that. But I think I ran out of it last time I was sick. When I came home from visiting my grandkids, I got sick and I couldn't get rid of it for like a month. So I'm pretty sure I used the rest of it then. So I have used neem oil, and it's usually like a vitamin E capsule where there's oil inside. And I've never used it as a specific, just straight oil. I don't even know that I've seen it for sale as a straight oil. But I have had this quantum neem bark, and I have used that to brush my teeth and on my teeth before. But I have not used just the oil. So somebody suggested on a couple of my videos that I try and soak my hand in neem oil and see if that, or my rashes, and see if anything comes out, or if it kills them, just kills them off under the skin, versus peroxide soaks. Now I haven't done peroxide soaks in well over a year. And I cured my toenail when I was doing the peroxide soaks about the parasite. I cured my toenail fungus by doing peroxide soaks, and that wasn't why I was doing the soaks, but it did cure that. And it took about, I don't know, six months or 8 months to have that grow out, but it's fine now. And so I was grateful for that. But I just, the peroxide soaks are painful and they kill the normal flora, and then you get like yeast rash until you get the normal flora back. So I don't really recommend doing those, but it was a really good diagnostic tool to show the doctors. And I have people write me pretty much every day, how do I get diagnosed? How do I show my doctor? I have the symptoms of this, but I don't want them to say I'm crazy. All they have to do is read and scroll and watch some of the comments in any of the parasite videos, and people are like, my doctor thinks I'm crazy. So people are afraid to go to their doctors, which is very sad, because if you have a good doctor, maybe more people could get diagnosed with this. It's just doctors don't know, and so nobody's getting diagnosed, and so it's going untreated and going undiagnosed, and it's going untreated because I don't know how to cure it anyway. So I'm gonna purchase some neem oil, gonna try and find just plain neem oil. Maybe I'll just have to buy it in the capsules and then squeeze it out on my skin and see what that does, if anything. Because I've never tried it that way. I've never even thought to try it that way. I've just always taken it internally. So yeah, because the research is really good on it for natural antibiotics. So anyway, so there's that. So there's some things I want to try still that people have suggested that I'm just working my way through as I get to it. I'm still having teeth symptoms. They're kind of rooting in the roots, and I'm really worried that my teeth are gonna go bad real quick. So when I feel them burrowing in my teeth, I just take a drop of thieves oil, and I kind of rub it and swish it around and get it up in my gums where I'm feeling it. And sometimes I'll put some on my upper teeth, and I've talked about that on my other videos. But that seems to be a quick way to get them out of the teeth. But I don't know how to keep them out of my teeth. In my head, I used to use colloidal silver in my eyes and the thieves in my mouth all the time, but I didn't want to become toxic on it because, I mean, they're in there all the time. I'm taking it all the time. So I'm hoping I can find a cure soon, because I don't know. I just looking like this and not feeling all that great. But with the way I've been eating, so during the morning I eat the oatmeal, and then I cook a big container of whole grain rice, like a mixture of several different blends of rice. And so I have 2 or 3 different blends that I've purchased, but they have the longer black grains and then some brown, different grains. So usually the blends have probably 4 mixes of rice in them. Because I need the healthy oils, which are in the brown rice and the longer grain rice, but I can't do just plain fats. So I'm trying to get a good balance when I eat my meals. I'm trying to do portions of healthy things that will assimilate together. And I shared in one of the videos how the beets made me feel really, really good, like immediately. And since then, I researched beets more, and there's actually beet juice that you can buy, like powdered beet juice, and it talks about the benefits of it. But I did some research on it, and there's all sorts of really good benefits to beets. And so it's interesting that I've felt like I should buy some, because I shared before in the other video that I don't normally eat beets. But I did purchase, I've been purchasing as many as I can. Like yesterday, I went to Walmart and they had 3 bunches of beets with 2 or 3 beets each in them. So I get those big bags of beets and I chop them up, wash them, chop them up, even the greens, everything. And then I just bake them with a little olive oil, salt and pepper. And when they're soft, they're just good. So I'll do a big container of beets for the week. And I'll do a big container of the multigrain rice, whichever blend I'm doing. And then I have my rice recipes on my YouTube channel, and I just shake it up and add a few different things. But most of the time it's that basic recipe that is shared on my blog. You look up rice on my blog and up will come the posts on that. But I basically put the same things in it, some garlic and pepper, and you don't have to put pepper, curry, ginger, and things like that in there. And so I'll cook a big container of that. And then I cook a sheet of half fish and half chicken. And I use skinless chicken and breasts, and I do fish with no skin. So like I buy these frozen, airtight, sealed, individual packed fish. Walmart has bags of it for pretty cheap. So usually I don't like fishy fish, the oily fish, because I have a problem with the oils anyway. And that's why I get the skinless, because the oils, fish oil is good for you, but I can't do too much oil at a time. I can only take little bits at a time. So I'll do half of the container of fish and half of it of chicken, and then I'll bake it. And I really like the Italian seasoning that I get. And I blog about that too. It's on my blog, so look up that. Hi, Calvin. Hey, I've got more people on. Maybe people had to get home or something. Okay, Calvin, what do you recommend against throat pain from the acid when throwing up? any kind of oil type of thing would help the stomach acid not burn the throat. So if you have like olive oil or grapeseed oil, something like that, I would put it in a spray bottle, kind of like the CBD oil bottle. It's just kind of like a Zicam maybe bottle, something like that, and then just spray it in your mouth and kind of mix it with your saliva and then swallow it down. I've never had that problem. I don't throw up too much, so I haven't had that problem. Do you play FIFA? I don't know what that means. What does FIFA mean? Now I'm feeling stupid. But Fortunate Pro. Hi. Thank you for the donation. I don't know what that is. So you'll have to explain it to me. I don't know, you guys. I don't know what that means. If you can explain it, then I could maybe. I'd probably not if I don't know what it means. So okay, shoot. What was I talking about? Before that. Anyway, I think it was. I had talked about hydrogen peroxide, and use that money to buy. Okay. Sega is a greater game made by EA. Please listen to 5 song by Montage. Okay. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I don't know how I got on you guys' thing to come do this, but I'll have to look it up. So I will look that up. I don't know. Maybe somebody shared me on there. I don't know. But I will I will look that up. Monsta by Monsta. Okay. I'll look it up. This is only my second chat ever, live chat. So I'm a little new to it. So that might be a term that you guys are used to, but I'm kind of new to it. So I don't know. But thank you for your time. Very interesting. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Just let me ball. I was going to maybe go into a little bit more about your question at the beginning. Just let me ball in a minute. But I don't. Okay, I'm going to look it up and I'll let you guys know later, another video or something, because I don't know what that is. So the other thing I was going to share about on this is the rashes that I get from the Parasite and from washing my hands a ton is I don't necessarily like the rashes. I'm just going to shoot. Nobody ever calls my house phone except salespeople, so that's weird that I'm getting that. You're going to hear my answering machine pick it up. I should have taken it off the hook. Nobody ever calls me that way. Sorry. Hopefully it's not somebody I know. Nope. Nobody's answering. It's probably just a sales call. Okay, so about the rashes. This is so funny. I'm embarrassed at how many different things that I have. Okay, so these are all oil-based products that I have in my bathroom cabinet that I use on the rashes, and it just depends on what day it is, which thing I grab and put on the rashes. So my hands, if you look at them, they're pretty good now. Like they used to be really dry and flaky, and they are a little bit right now because I was working in the tree and washed my hands a ton in the last 3 days. I pruned trees for 3 days. So they are a little scraped up and they are a little dry, but for the most part, they're pretty good because I do something like this every day. So I have shared about this cream from the dollar store. I like it because it has aloe in it. But any kind of, so I do that to try and get any kind of yeast, because of the peroxide soaks, kills off the normal flora. So I take that to get any kind of yeast off. And then I use some kind of oil. Now, I've talked in some of them how I use castor oil, and I will put that when I have problems with parasites in my eyes. I'll put a little bit of castor oil on them at night, and that would keep the parasites down in my eyes. So then thank you. I'm kind of reading as I go. The phone is on silent. So that's my house phone. Nobody ever calls me on my house phone. So I don't know why. It's just salespeople. I probably should have taken that off. And then, so this one I've had for years. It's a tanning oil that's coconut oil. And what I'm trying to do is just use them all up. So this one's almost gone. This one's almost gone. So what I've just done is I just use whatever oil I have handy. Now this is glycerin and rosewater oil. So glycerin is like a oil. So the parasites don't like the oils. And so I just put them on and to keep the parasites down, and the oil nourishes my skin. Do I want to know the first thing Muhammad Gandhi said? Sure. I don't know. Maybe they're trolls. I don't know. So anyway, I'm just going to finish with what I'm doing because I don't want to waste people's time. So let's see. And then vitamin E oil is really good too. I have several of those that I use, but it's a little thicker and a little stickier. So this one's a little bit more watery vitamin E oil. So I will use that. And then I also will, if my rash is really bad or my hands are really super dry. So this is also a different oil I bought at Walmart that I tried, argan oil. But so if it's really bad, I'll use the petroleum-based oil or the eucalyptus oil. But that can kind of burn if your hands are super dry. Or I'll use this bag balm. I have used bag balm before, or veterinarian balm. So those are the things I'll put on. So I'll put the cream on, the antifungal cream, if I think is a little fungal infection. Then I'll put the oils, and then I'll put on some kind of a ointment to hold the oil in. And that seems to make my hands really soft. So it's really nice when I have that rash. So anyway, okay, so that's what I had. And I was hoping that I would get some questions that people were asking, because a lot of people write comments on my channel, and it takes me forever to answer all of them. And so I was kind of hoping that I would get people asking me questions that are pertinent to my channel, and that I could answer and not take the time to type it out. Do you drop it in or just around the eyes? I just put a drop on my finger and then kind of rub it over the eye. And I have had people reply to me saying that they do the same thing. And it doesn't burn. It's just really goopy if you get too much. So I wouldn't put it in the eye. I would just put it around the eye. So normally, if I show you, it's kind of, let's see if you can see the light behind it. Can you see it's kind of like a little, it's oily, whereas like this vitamin E oil obviously has something in it to make it less oily, but yet this vitamin E oil is super thick. So you could use vitamin E oil on your eyes, and it would be just depending on how thick the oil is, but I would make sure it's a pure oil if you're going to do that. So yeah, I would use castor oil or olive oil. Olive oil is a little almost too runny, and castor oil is a little thicker. So if you're having the parasite problem in your eye and you can feel them coming out, especially your eyelashes, which I do feel at times, then they'll come out and they irritate you at night. And I know a lot of people have the same symptoms. So I'm just sharing what I've done. So I will take the castor oil just because it's a thicker oil and not as gooey, and it doesn't run in your eyes as much. And I'll just put it on each finger, and then I'll just close my eyes and just kind of rub it slowly over there. So they're all underneath. So the parasites don't like coming out with the oil. So it kind of calms them down, and then you can get a better night's sleep. So, anyway, so that was the oils. And it's so funny because like I have all of my vitamins and all the supplements over here, and then I've got the the gluten-free products over there, and then I've got all the oils over here. You could probably try the pumpkin seed oil on your ice too. I don't think it would probably hurt to try that. It's a little bit more expensive than the castor oil. I think this was like $3.60 or something at Walmart, and this was on clearance. It was $7. But you're getting a little bit more, but it's a little bit more watery. This is, I don't know if you can hear it. You can't hear it because it's pretty thick. It's almost like a conditioner. Can you hear that? And that one's more watery. So, oh, these people are funny. Well, David Bowie is dead. You need to read my blog post about David Bowie. I saw him in concert. He was awesome. He was so good. He's one of my favorite artists. But he's dead, so he's not taking any vitamins. So anyway, that's the update. Oh, this was the other thing I wanted to share about. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm going to try this for breakfast and see how it works. This is another gluten-free thing, and I'll let you know if this is one that I can do or can't do, because like I said, at the beginning of the video, I can do some and I can't do some other ones. So I'll let you know on another update. Well, it didn't turn out how I kind of wanted to on a Sunday afternoon. But I'm glad that some people could have fun on here, and okay, just let me ball. I wanted to get back to what you were saying. If you're having some issues with your first comment, charcoal can help that product. I know that it will help somewhat with that. But also, I think if you take grapefruit seed extract, every time that we've gone to a South American country and we've gotten some kind of parasite or bug or something, the GSE and the colloidal silver taken together, and or oregano oil and or neem oil. So when we went to South America and everybody ended up getting sick, and I know when we went to Mexico, there was a lady who had a problem with her bowels. She got really sick. As soon as anybody starts to be sick, I give them grapefruit seed extract, 15 drops of the regular, not the condensed. The condensed one, I give 3 drops, and I usually take that when we travel. And then oregano capsules, and then olive leaf capsules, and then colloidal silver, 10 sprays every hour. So if you do have a problem with the stomach or other situations like that, then take those, try that for until you can feel better. And then in between that, you can take charcoal, and that will help any kind of stomach situations that you might have with that. And those have always helped. Yeah, you can, but when I travel, if you take those things in your suitcase and it's to a hot environment, they can melt. And the grapefruit seed extract is an oil, and if you take I always take it in the liquid form, but you can take it in the pill form. So I put I get a lunchbox, an insulated lunchbox, and I put all of the medical stuff in the insulated lunchbox so that they don't melt, because oregano capsules will melt. The neem sometimes can melt, anything like that. So whenever we're traveling, my kids have traveled as missionaries overseas, we always put everything in the insulated lunch boxes. In that way, you can have those medications as needed and they won't melt. So I have not been following along. You guys are having a good old time on there without me. It must be a slow time on the internet for for people to be online, because I don't know why anybody that's not into health and stuff would be on my video. But just let me ball. Hopefully that will help you. They're all really inexpensive. If you take too much of the grapefruit seed extract at once, it will cause loose bowels, because it's an acid, and also it's got vitamin C and stuff in it. So don't overdose on that. Just do 2 or 3 drops of the condensed one, or 15 drops of the non-condensed. So when I'm at home, I use the non-condensed. It's the bigger bottle, and it's super cheap. You can get it at any health food store. You can get it online, and I've used it for 20 plus years, and we love it. So, but just know that you don't want to take too much of it at the same time, or you can cause the problem you're trying to fix. Isn't it funny that if you take something that you're too much of something that you're trying to do, it'll cause the same problem you're having. So anyway, sorry that I didn't get more people asking questions, but but I'm glad somebody could have some fun, and thanks for people donating. That was really sweet. And hopefully if anybody has any questions after they watch this video, they can type it in the comments and I'll reply. And I need to figure out how to schedule out the live stream better so that it's a time when people can actually get on. All right. Thank you so much for just let me ball. And all the rest of you. I hope everybody has a blessed day, and thanks for watching. Bye. Come on. Stop.